has it got?
That's a proper welcome. Apparently everyone got a little bit of that cash before the show.
It's the Wi-Fi's got to their brains. After an astonishing 4 decades in the charts, Michael's notched up 53 million records sold and worked with everyone from Pavarotti to Lady Gaga. He even survived a tour with Ozzy Osbourne back in the day. Is that Black Sabbath days, would that have been?
No, it was Ozzy on his own. Yeah.
So was he Ozzy?
Solo.
Or Ozzy?
No, I didn't see any of that. As a matter of fact, I think it was afterwards, because Sharon, his wife, was on the road with him. She was kind of managing him then.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got off the stage, he was like the most normal human being you'd ever met. It was like he left whatever was going on the stage, that the cult experience, scary one, was left on stage. And backstage, he was just a normal guy being friendly to everybody and, you know, smacking people around with the dove heads and, no, he was really, none of that was visible, and gracious, really gracious people.
He's a lovely man, lovely man.
And Sharon is too, and I see them in Los Angeles all the time. And I always remember how kind they were, how generous they were to me, I was like, you know, people didn't know. They thought I was the human sacrifice for that.
Now, out of all the collaborations you've had, who's the person that's most excited you?
Her name was no, I'm sorry. you mean
people you've worked with, written with, sung with?
So many different ways of it. You know, I wrote, you know, Paul Stanley of Kiss. Yeah. One of the funniest people I've ever met in my life, and we wrote it at Sunset Marquee, 2 acoustic guitars. He wanted a hit single for Kiss. You know, hadn't had one since Beth, and. In the meantime, you're just laughing your ass off. Can you say ass off? Or arse
yeah,
off?
I think you just have.
Yeah.
You've worked with Bob Dylan, haven't you, as well, Bob Dylan?
And Bob Dylan was one of the most exciting moments for me because 30 minutes of speaking to him, and I was just thinking, this is Bob. He's Bob Dylan. He probably thought I was going to start drooling. and he was, yeah, Michael. You know, you take a ride up in the hills in Brazil, and you know, and
you do.
The reality that this is Bob Dylan was just so enormous to me, and I was so, you know, outside of myself. But that was not one of the harder. That was one of the easiest writing sessions I had done, because he knew what kind of song I was working on, and he would come up with lyrics. Like, he had millions of lyrics. I mean, I can't even remember what I'm going to order at a restaurant, you know, and he's coming up with rhymes and double and triple meanings, and it was such a pleasure. And it was on Time, Love, and Tenderness, and that album sold 14 million copies. So, and when I got home, my daughter said, do you know what an honor it is to write with Bob Dylan? And she was going to lecture me. and I said, I stopped everything I was doing that week. I had a really intense week, and I called everyone and said, I can't be there, I'm writing with Bob Dylan, and I don't know what's going to happen, because there's a rumor about him. If he doesn't love what you did, you will never hear from him again. So you'll never finish the song, you'll never hear from him. No, because he was doing the Traveling Wilburys.
That's right, yeah,
he had so many other projects, he was too busy. So I came up with a whole bunch of ideas to make sure we got something done and really hit it off, and it was amazing.
And you did hear from him again?
Oh, no. especially after the album took off.
We should talk about this, because this is the new album released by Michael on Monday, 21st album, I believe. Gems, it's called, and you get 2 CDs, one a best of, the other a collection of collaborations. You've got quite a few on there, haven't you, including Eva Cassidy?
Yeah.
Who died 16 years ago, if I'm thinking right now, from cancer?
Something like 16, 17 years ago. I didn't know about her, I just knew her name, and my co-manager said, you have to hear this woman. She was staggering, amazing.
How do you do a collaboration with someone who died so long ago?
Well, we call the family, first of all, and you find out who has the rights to her masters, and you find out who's in control of, you know, of the literal legacy, who owns and controls her music, and it was the family. And they, fortunately, were fans of mine. And then I assured them we would do something very respectful, because we were all huge fans of hers. And David Foster wanted to produce it, because the song that we did was Fields of Gold, and it's Sting composition. Yeah, yeah. And she loved it, and she sang it. And it turns out that Sting's favorite version is hers.
So you've taken her original vocal and added yours to it?
Yes, and her guitar playing. Okay. And then Foster came in and played piano and string lines.
Was there a sense
It's a very sparse.
Yeah, I was going to say, was there a sense of her that you could actually feel her presence in a way? I mean, you must have heard her through your cans.
It was beyond a sense of her. It was, you know, because in the headphones, someone's tones are so intimate and so right there. Yeah. And I realized I'm singing with this gorgeous voice, and the performance is already perfect. So I just want to stay out of the way of greatness and, you know, sing harmony with her and go in. And we were kind of walking on eggshells about what to do so we wouldn't screw up this perfect performance. And I realized something, and I got really sad. I got really emotional. And Foster pressed play, and I was getting ready to sing. And it dawned on me that I couldn't even ask her, do you mind if I take the low harmony on this part? I was thinking I would sing this with you and then let you take the next. I couldn't have that kind of conversation with her. And it really brought home the fact that she's not here. But I just basically got really quiet, and then there were a couple times I was supposed to sing, and I got choked up, and nothing came out. I apologized, and they started it over again. And I'm quite sure we were respectful enough that her beautiful performance comes through,
well,
and you can tell we're just surrounding her with.
You can judge for yourself
support.
Because we've got a little taster for you. Here is Michael and Eva's version of Fields of Gold.
I never made promises lightly, and there have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold.
Good job, good job. Now, the email's already come in, and it's the next question I was going to give to you anyway, but that people want to know is, are we going to see, I know what the answer is, are we going to see you in the UK this year? And it's not looking like it at the moment.
I'm working on it because we're doing Australia in April, we're doing Southeast Asia right after that in May. And by the end of April, I'll know whether enough dates have come together for Europe for us to then tell the promoters, while I'm in Europe, let's just head on over to the UK and park.
You can't do Europe and not Britain, because we are Europe. Yeah? The rest of them, they all speak bonkers language no one cares for. French, German, not Swedish. Forget about them. This is the place.
I'm not
you
getting
ask
myself
Europe.
thrown out of Italy. I'm on to that.
Make sure if you go to Italy, Spain, Portugal and Greece, they pay you first. little handy hint in the modern euro, yeah? They'll trust you. They can't afford you. They can't afford you. Come to Britain. Come to Britain. Now.
I do intend to, you know, and I love to. So we're working on that, and it's going to happen. I just don't know what the dates are going to be, but.
Good.
You know,
I love the collaborations on the album.
Thank you. Thank you for playing that. It reminded me of
absolute pleasure.
What we were all experiencing. So.
Talking of experiences, this is what you can expect on this morning's show. For our first Cronin, we're asking, no need to start swatting yet, it's not an exam. We're asking if we should ban President Assad's cronies from the Olympics, because the Syrian president, as you probably know, has the blood of more than 8,000 people on his hands. And how do we respond? By giving his henchmen golden tickets to this summer's sports spectacular. I know some of you are going to argue you shouldn't mix politics and sport, but really, eh? So we'll take a few calls on that before it's over to Michael for the rest of the headlines. After that, pricing the poor out of university by degrees. As students prepare to boycott lectures today over the soaring costs of higher education, I want to know if a 12% fall in applications this year is anything to fret about when those who leave with an arts degree are unlikely to earn as much over a lifetime as a school leaver who goes straight into work. And next up, pay smokers less. Well, it is no smoking day. An hour a day, your average nicotine fiend spends outside the office or the factory smoking. That is the equivalent to an extra 5 weeks holiday over the course of a year. And yet they pocket the same as non-smoking workers. Is that fair? And then finally, does your name shape who you are? Psychologists say it can. The moniker bestowed on you by your parents can affect your personality, your love life and your career prospects. Some names are perceived as good and wholesome, others as trouble. Does any of this ring true with you? What's your name done for you, Kirsty?
Well, I was going to say Star, but then I did actually look it up. It says troublesome but fun.
That's more like it.
But ultimately a real handful.
Troublesome but fun and ultimately a real handful.
Yeah, I am.
Did I write that?
I am a handful.
Have you got the numbers then, please, John?
If you'd like to contact the show this morning, give us a call. The number to call, as usual, is 0207 173 5555. Calls will set you back a maximum of 10 pence a minute, and that's based on a BT landline call, so mobile phone charges and other networks may vary. You can email us wrightstuff@channel5.com, and if you'd like to send us a text, the number is 80088. Text will cost 25 pence plus your standard network charge. Not all messages will be shown on screen, and always remember to put TWS before your comments. And of course, if you're on Twitter, send us your tweets at 5Wright Stuff.
You got a book of names there, have you? The meanings of names?
No, I'm just online.
Oh, can you look up Eric for us as well, please?
Yeah.
After the break, we're asking if we should stop President Assad's cronies from attending the London Olympics. 0207 173 5555 is the number you need. It's the panel's thoughts next, though.
The Syrian Olympic team contains a rebel fighter and a family friend of President Assad. Is this true or is it false? Find out after this break.
We've got big deals on hundreds of products. Right now, this Bailey's Original Irish Cream is only £9.49. The Cooperative. Good with food.
Hi, I'm Richard Branson, and I want everyone to say bye-bye to buffering and hello to a super fast broadband.
Right now with Virgin Media, you could enjoy up to 30 meg fibre optic broadband and calls free for the first 3 months. And with broadband that's 4 times faster than the UK average, everyone at home could be online at the same time with fewer interruptions, which means we could all say bye-bye to buffering. So, that's up to 30 meg broadband and unlimited UK weekend calls, free for 3 months and just £18.50 a month after that. Call 0800 183 7000 today.
Virgin Media. Keep up.
What are you doing?
Joining new fabulous bingo. There's a 200% welcome bonus. So if I deposit a tenner, get 30 quid to play with. Here we go. Plus, when you join, you get a free Model Zone nail crackle.
Join today and feel fabulous at fabulousbingo.co.uk.
So before the break, we asked